Hey guys, this is Briaka Games, and today this is my first YouTube exclusive. Um, I really wanted to record my 50th run of getting over it with Bennett Foddy, and I wanted to make sure that I could put together a couple of things for people who are trying to get through the game. So we're going to be doing a new game, and I'm not going to be speeding through it. It seems like that's something you try to do on your 50th run. My fastest, my personal best, is about 9 minutes, but I thought it'd be better to take it a little slow, enjoy the 50th time going up the mountain, and just point out a couple of things that can make it easier for new people. So, first is this fucking tree. I did not want to curse through this, but we're going to go with it. So, this tree is pretty rough to get through. It's your first real experience with the game and trying to get over it. And if you were to go over to this and try to hook up, you kind of get stuck there, right? Like, how do I get around this? You can hook your hammer around and slowly pull yourself up. Or you do what I tend to do, which is get on this rock here, do something called a pogo, where you put your hammer facing down and push down and then loop over to that. Either way, you're going to want to do a big spin because that tree is a little bit higher than it looks. And we're going to want to kind of speed up. So we're going to use the velocity that we have from holding on at the lowest part to just jump over it. Okay? So let's go through that right now. We're going to go from here with the pogo, grab on, and then speed over it. And that gets us over the first obstacle. Second obstacle is basically the same, but with rocks. You can see we have a couple rocks here. With this one, we can just kind of swing around. We can ledge our hammer there and just twirl around it. This twirling move is how you kind of move forward and back. So what I tend to do here is get a nice grip on that ledge and kind of jerk. You're going to jerk, right? So get you a little leverage. If you do it right, you can hit this ore, and then you're on the ore. But most people, I think, are going to end up here on their first time through. And we're just going to pogo up and grab the ore. Now, you could also go from the rock. So if we wanted to go from the rock, you could leverage on the rock and kind of swing up. And again, you're going to hit the ore. So there's a few ways to get through this. But once you're on the ore, you're going to twirl up. Now you can grab onto this log. We're going to twirl up again. Now that was more of a twirl jerk. Gives you a little speed. But if you just landed on this ledge, you can again pogo up and then reach over for the house. So just one thing at a time. You're going to be doing this pretty much the whole way up to this point. When you get to the sewer grate, you're going to grab on. And you're going to do a jerking movement with your mouse upward. And it gives you a little bit more velocity. You can grab onto this extra rock here, which will get you up to the barrel. And then from the barrel, I like to pogo, personally. And that gets you right up to this little coffee mug. Now again, there's a few ways to do it. You could also... kind of spun down there, didn't I? As you're going up the velocity, grab onto this rock. We could go ahead and push off of this barrel. So let's grab onto the barrel. Oop. Not a great grip there, is it? Grab onto that barrel. And again, same thing, kind of drop down and rock up. Either way, you're going to want to end up on these rocks. Now, there's, again, multiple ways to get up. If you watch a speedrunner, you're going to see that they go really fast all the way up. And I don't do that. My fastest is 9 minutes. That's not possible. But I do pogo from this rock here, right? So pogo up and then grab. And you can see that didn't work. So we're going to try again. Pogo up, grab. All right, so if you grab up, just kind of twirl your hammer into that little position. Again, next position has a few different ways you can get up. We're going to go ahead and pull up again. And that gets us up here. Now, alternatively, you could just pogo the whole way, right? So we could just pogo. And we could ultimately your goal is to get up the mountain, right? So now my cauldron kind of looks like it's gold. It's not gold yet. You get that at 50 runs, but one of the things that happens is your cauldron does kind of oxidize over the course of the runs. So it's really neat to see it turn from like a dark black to gold as you play more. I didn't know that happened when I played it. All right, for this part, this is called the chimney. I tend to just grip right here. I get up on this rock and I grip right here on this little ledge, pull myself up, and then you're going to do a quick swing to the right to grab the lantern, jump up by doing a jerky pull move. Again, I don't know what the specific names of these moves are called, but that's what I call it. We're going to jerk up again, and at that point you're up. Now the cool thing about your hammer is it can kind of grab onto these ledges and just swing you up. At this point I typically pogo up and twirl my hammer, and there we go. So that's the first major accomplishment. Once you get through the chimney, the rest of the game's extremely hard still. This part especially is a like flat wall, and I struggle with this even though I've played through this 49 times. So clap a little bit, applaud yourself, pat your back, you just got through the chimney. But the next part is just as hard. We're going to grab onto this little rusted radioactive fridge thing, or power generator, or whatever it is, and we're going to have to do a jerky up movement. Oop, and you see it went a little too far. What you have to do then is grab onto the walls. Now, I like to grab onto this black thing here, and then kind of twirl up towards the cement. You can see I'm gripped on. We're going to do a quick upward movement there. If you get the velocity right, you can just kind of skip a lot of that stuff. But it's a lot easier if you get good at a small twirl. You don't want to twirl your hammer out too wide. You want it to be closer to your body. And that allows you to go a little bit closer to the building without knocking yourself away. So that just takes some practice. We're going to twirl across this crane. And then across this building, across the hot tub. I'm just kind of stuck on the wood there. Twirling across the grill. Don't worry, you're going to fall there a lot. Up the umbrella. I'm going to go a little faster on this part. A lot of this is just making sure that you understand where to put the hammer. And unfortunately, it just takes practice. So you're going to have to figure out it goes on the umbrella. I usually do the wheelbarrow from there. Then to the rake. And I kind of, you'll notice from like where I am now, I kind of pull myself into the left and then twirl out, do a small twirl. And that allows you to grip onto this slide so that you can get up through the playground. Once you're at the top, it doesn't matter if you're at the very top or on this ball here, you're going to do a pogo push to go to the boxes on the right. And then I usually put my hammer right here at the top of these boxes, just kind of fall down. And you're going to gently push yourself off of the box, and that allows you to fall here. Now, I died a lot. Like, if you were to go watch my first run-through took 19 hours. I didn't die. I fell from this point a lot. On the right edge, get yourself where you're kind of leaning off, and then you're going to pogo off. Now, this part you kind of just have to move fast on. You're going to kind of grip the steps to go up, but then push against that house to the left. And when you get up here, you're going to get to this chair. I usually pogo from the chair to the security camera. And again, you're just going to slowly lift yourself up and sit on that security camera. I usually pogo from here. We're going to grab on the couch. And you'll see that I kind of push to the left. So when you do that, make sure you're pushing against the furniture, but not too hard, not too wildly. And then you can grab these sofas on the right. I think other people do this slightly differently. But I found that that's the best method. And once you get up to these drawers, you just slowly work yourself up to the right. And then pogo off the toilet to go left. Alright, so we're making good progress here. Alright, this part is called Orange Hell. This is really hellish. I'll be honest, I still fall from here quite a bit. But you're going to get yourself a little bit off to the edge here. because you're going to pogo up over this rock. And this is a hard jump. I mess it up. Again, I'm at 49 wins. This is my 50th win we're going to try to achieve. I still screw it up, but we're going to pogo and grab, circle grab to the right to grab that rock. Now you can easily push yourself off and fall to the left. So we're going to try not to do that. And there we go. So once you grab up, you're going to land up here. Now there's two methods for going up this part. I like the faster method, but you have to know where to put the hammer. So first, I'm going slowly. I'm going to show you this first. You can take each rock a ledge at a time and slowly lift yourself up. If you see any little rocks like kind of stubbling out of your hammer, it means you're going to fall. So be careful about that. What I like to do, and we might fall here, you can see the rocks on my hammer now, how it's kind of leaning, is I like to go faster, but I've been playing this a little bit now, so you will grab on and then kind of do a jerky move in. Now if you mess it up, it's okay, you can kind of catch yourself, but by jerking yourself in, you kind of manage to land on the right platform. Here, this rock is the hardest for both methods. For the slow bit, you're going to want to land as close to the wall as you can. And then you can use your hammer to lift yourself up. If you're doing the fast method, which we're going to try right now, you kind of jerk yourself up. Oh, and you see how I didn't grab on there? That happens sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just I did it wrong or, sometimes the hammer just doesn't seem to grip. Ooh, almost fell off. All right, so we'll just go the faster way the whole way up this time. Well, we're right at the edge with the hammer, so let's see if we can do the slow method. Yeah, look at that. See, that's about where you want to land, because then you can just put your hammer up here, and you can kind of lift yourself up. I didn't start going faster until I beat the game, but one of the things about this game is you're gonna fall anyway. Like if you don't know what you're doing and you're messing it up, you're gonna fall. So you can't get frustrated with that. I think the faster methods are actually a little bit better. You'll see that I'm just kind of twirling up on these random things sticking out of the wall. This is the cathedral. We're just trying to get up a straight wall. Those bats scare the hell out of you, so we get up to the top. And then I sit on this ledge here. This is just how I do it. Some people might try to go a little faster than me, but I pogo off of this and slowly grab for that little window ledge and then up and over. And at this point, it's just a matter of getting over these boulders. Now that cathedral and orange hell bit are really tough, but once you get over that, you're mostly safe, right? You can get to this point fairly safely, and you don't have to worry as much about falling all the way to the bottom. You can fall all the way to the bottom, for a fact. Now, you'll notice I'm trying to get myself kind of tucked in this little ledge. You don't get in really closely there. But I'm trying to shoot myself up and over that ice. And this is actually tough because the hammer won't grab onto the ice very well. So, you see where the little point of the rock is? That's where I want to pogo, and it should send me straight up where I can grab onto the snowy part. I might mess this up a couple of times, but we're going to give it a shot here. See, you see there, I grabbed the right area and I still slid off. So it's, sometimes it's not even just about doing it right. It's just about hoping that your hammer grabs. So we're going to try again. Yeah. So there, it's once you get up there, you have to pull yourself up. I try to do that quickly usually. You can go slow. Again, just whatever you're comfortable with. You can see I'm making small progress. There you go. All right, so we made it over the ice. Get that out of the way. Oh, it's not gonna move for me. All right, so we're gonna go past the hat. And when you get to this anvil, you're gonna lean where you're about 50-50. Half on one side, half on the other, and then you're going to push off at the corner and slowly grab to the right. And then I pull myself up slowly here. You see, just kind of setting myself up so that I can come up and over. And again, you can go faster on this. And you pogo up to this platform. Now, from here, you see the stuff up on the right. We're not actually going up there. I'm not going that way. We're actually going to lean to the left where this little ledge is, and we're going to pogo to the left to this mountain, this boulder. And I kind of pull myself up just a little bit. I'm not going to be on the top, but I want to have my hammer definitely on the left slope. And we're just going to twirl over, and that gets us to the snowman. This is a snowman's bottom. And at this point, we're going to kind of get our character in position where we can pogo. I think this is how a lot of people do it. So, again, I'm off to the left side of the snowman's butt, and we're just going to pogo over to the left. And we're going to do that for these couple of boulders here. You don't have to worry too much about slippage, but you don't want to go too far down. Like at this point, that's about halfway down the boulder on the left side. That's as far as I'd want to go. So again, we're going to just pogo over. And pull our butts up here. And again, about halfway, maybe a little more on this one. And pogo. And that gets us in position to go up the cliff here. Just going to pause for a second to admire the snake ride, which you're welcome to take. This game, the first time I played it, took me 19 hours. And now I can beat it in about 9 minutes. That boulder part took me, I feel like days. Like, I don't know, 9 hours. It was, definitely that was a stopping point for me. And that anvil jump, oh, I was bouncing all over the place on that. Like, even if you're in the right position, when you go to hit the cliff, if your hammer isn't steady, you can bounce off. And I bounced off of that a bit. All right, we're going to jump, pogo jump to get this bucket. Now, I want to land my hammer on the left side of the bucket. Or the middle, but not on the right side. So let's give that a shot. All right, that's good. That's in the middle. So from the middle, you can swing left, right, and then left. And as we go left here, we're going to jump. Now, if you mess that up, you can fall all the way to the bottom. So try not to do that. And then when you get up to the wood, you're going to do the same jump you did on the anvil. And land right on the right side, which brings us to the ice mountain. Now, on the ice mountain, there's these little ledges. You can see because my hammer is kind of disappearing in the snow versus up there. See the difference? So we want our hammer to disappear into the snow versus just being on top of it. And then you're going to do that jerky movement I was mentioning. So you're not going to do a full circle. You don't want to do a full circle. You're going to do a pull move. Okay, so pull move, and there are different ledges here. So there's a second ledge. If you know where those are, you can hit those, and you can just keep pull moving. One thing is that on the first half of the mountain, you have to do the pull move. So there are opportunities, even if you don't hit the right crevice, to still do a pull move, but it will drag your ass all the way to the bottom. There it is. All right, and there's one right there. That gets us up to the second part. All right. So on the second part, there's a couple of ledges here too. So most people, I think, probably start here on this part down here. We're going to be on this little ledge here, and we're going to put our hammer over here. Now, whereas with the last half of the first half of the ice mountain, we were doing the pull move. In this case, I'm not going to do that as much. We're just going to try to like lean into the circular movement so that we can get the right angles here. Oop, went too far. There it is. All right, so that's the third one. And on this one, I do a jerk move, but we're going to try to, mess that up. All right. On this one, we are going to do a jerk movement. We're going to try to get up that ice mountain. So just like with the snow or the ice mountain before, you can slide off of it. So we're going to try to get a good grip on it. All right, let's go. Ooh, see, we got all the way past the ice. You can land on the top part of the ice and do this twirl move to get over it. But it's kind of hard to do that. So if you can land on the snow, even better. All right. Last real challenge of the game. We got past the shopping cart. We're up on these mountains in the Coliseum. We're going to jump up here with the pogo. Pogo again. And now we're on the radio tower. Now, this part, even if you're decent at the game, this can be a challenge because everything's so tight right up against the tower. You can fall all the way to down the ice cliff, down the snake, and all the way to the beginning of the game here. I've done it, and I did it on stream, and it showed up on video. So if you want to see that, check out some of my videos and clips. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to try to show you the right way without messing it up. So we're holding on to this first one. We're going to do a jerky movement up, but you kind of have to twirl slightly so you don't just smash into this. So there we go. Now the key is to not just immediately push your hammer in. You do have to wait like a half a second so that you know you're not hitting the dish above this. You're actually hitting this brown part. There you go. See how I'm just waiting like a half second to move my hammer. All right, so that gets me on top of this. Now, I do want to be on top of this dish. There's two ways to get up here. You can either use velocity to like speed up it. I'm doing the slower method. We're going to try to jump from here with a pogo and then grab onto that, okay? There we go. Now, the cool thing about this one is, again, same thing. You can speed up and you can try to push up straight to get up to the top, or you can try to get on top of this thing and then just reach up to that second one. Oh, I messed it up. I was trying to go show you the fast method here. You can see how easy it is to fall back down on this tower. So you got to take it real carefully because if you fall all the way down, you're not going to like it. I speak from experience on that. See, look at that. I have bugged out on that cart, by the way. You can get your hammer stuck in there, which is unfortunate. Ooh, what was that? That was weird. Like clipped into the dish. Alright, we're gonna pogo up here. Woo! And then there you go. You're in space. So once you get past the tower, you are done. Dunzo. There's a couple of asteroids up here. They do have a center of gravity on each of them. So you're going to get pulled to them. And then you just push off. It'll take you to the next one. Unfortunately, though, if you push too softly, this happens. And you kind of get stuck here for a second. Well, it slowly pulls you back to the asteroid. I think there's a minimal risk of falling here. I know it can happen, but as long as you're not like launching yourself downward, you should be okay. There we go. And that'll take us to the next, and the next, and then we get up to the top. That's getting over it. We just got over it. And I was trying to show you where to push to go up as we were doing it, and still only took like 20 minutes. So it's a pretty quick run, as long as you know where to push. So try to use the video. Check out the like ledge points on the ice mountain when you get to that point. Try to practice the movement speeds, the pogo and the pull and the circle, tight circle. You really do have to get good at those in order to get over it. Just like any game, you have to practice the controls and you have to get used to what the game is giving you. And I know it's just a mouse, so it seems like it's a little more complicated, but the aim is pretty strong on this. Like, you can see where the circle is, and that's really where you want to put your mouse. Anyway, I'm Briak, Guide Games. Thank you guys for being here for my 50th win. I really appreciate that. I'm going to show you the gold cauldron. Let's look at that. That'll wrap it up, and then we'll call it a night. Credits are kind of long. This is a good time to call out my Twitch channel, Briak Guys to Games, same as my YouTube. If you are watching this and you're interested in more content like this, hit the subscribe button, check out my Twitch page. I do play a variety of games, and this is one that was a crowning achievement as far as I'm concerned. It took me 19 hours to get over it, and I feel like it was a rite of passage for me streaming. I was so happy to beat it. I'm ruining the music by talking now. I just have nothing else to talk about. It's amazing how, like, you play a game like this and you can talk about the game. Then when you have to talk about other things while you're waiting for the credits, there's not much to talk about, is there? Maybe I'll play Jump King next. Maybe we'll get into Jump King. I'm just going to video edit all of this out, by the way. We're just going to show you the gold cauldron. Bennett Foddy. I watched a clip of Bennett Foddy playing this, and he fell on the ice cliff like 300 times. Made me feel really good about getting over it. Even the developer couldn't get over it. At least not quickly. Woo! Alright. You guys were here for my first. You're here for my 50th. Thank you very much for that. Alright, let's look at the gold cauldron. Fully gold! Woo! There is a pond over here, by the way. You can't actually die, technically. I mean, it just resets, but you can do it. Alright, guys. I'm Briak Games. Thank you very much. Please check out my channel. I have more videos. Hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys again very soon.